The following is a Joel Michalec production. On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence. That request came from his wife. She asked him to leave because he wouldn't listen to the Joel Michalec Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Joel Michalec Show. I'm Joel Michalec, sitting here alongside
of me. Yay.
The lovely Sharon. Oh, I'm rocking in my chair like we're testing some new equipment here.
Yeah.
And
I kind of really hope it works out.
Well, I mean, I hope it works out too. I hope it works out too, but here's the thing. If it doesn't, then they're going to hear what they hear because, you know, obviously post-production will clean up the audio.
Right.
But what we're doing is we're testing new equipment. We're actually recording the podcast on an iPhone. And the reason being is because as we get into the summer months and we'll start traveling, and we're going to be doing the podcast probably a lot on the road during the summer.
I know. I can't wait.
So we're testing some new equipment. And we figured, why not test it this week? So this is the usual Joel Michalec Show,
yes.
Which you can visit us
on. We're recording the podcast in our living room.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So the acoustics might sound different because we're actually in a very large room. We're in our living room. Sharon is very comfortable on the couch. I'm comfortable on my rocker. This is really a different experience.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
I want to tell.
I really hope it works out good.
I want to relate a story about this, but let me take a slingshot back. jmtalk.net is the website. That's the address you can get to visit us at Joel Michalec Show.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can visit us at Facebook at jmtalk and Twitter at JM Radio. We changed the handle at Twitter this week.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't even know about that.
It was like the only thing I did for the show this week, too. I said to you this week, I'm like, I've just been so busy, I haven't even done anything for the show.
I know.
But I went and I changed the Twitter handle.
Well,
for the show.
And what did you say it was?
JM Talk Radio.
JM Talk Radio.
JM Talk was somebody took JM Talk. Can you believe that?
What?
Yes.
Thieves.
Right?
That's what they did. They stole it.
Yes. So that's the business end of the show. You can also email us at joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. So this is really weird, not looking at a computer screen and not having a microphone in my face.
Because we've done it, the old-fashioned way for so many years.
Well, I belong to a page on Reddit, a subreddit they call them. The pages are called subreddits, and it's a podcasting subreddit. And somebody posted a picture of them. They were in their favorite diner doing their podcast. I mean, they had the mixing board and the microphone set up on a table, and then there was an extension cord with a power strip plugging everything in. They had headphones on. They were just in a corner booth at a diner.
Wow.
Which gives me ideas for,
Right.
So we're out of our element, but this is a very comfortable
element. But we can interview people.
Sure,
like
we can do a lot of
random
things.
people.
Absolutely.
Say, hey, what do you think of blah, blah, blah?
The story I wanted to relate is that you may or may not recall, back when you were doing Chick Chat, we did a couple sprawled with you and Sheila here in the living room.
Yeah.
Sheila sprawled out on the couch, and you were reclined all the way back in your rocker.
Right.
I had the mics all set up. I had the long cables running all the way back to the studio, and I sat alone in the studio with headphones on producing it while you guys just chilled the hell out.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
So this isn't your first foray being comfortable in this environment, but...
Well, yeah, but I feel weird. I feel like I should...
Yeah, because we don't have the headphones on.
Yeah, we don't have... All we have is a mic.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, lapel mics. And so, you know,
Nice.
like I said, this will run through post-production. We don't edit the show, but we do put it through post-production
Right.
to clean up the sound. So I will be... So that's what I'm saying. You know, the signal looks good. We're looking at the signal. Everything appears to be good. And what you get is what you're going to get, because we're not going to go back and do this.
Right,
You
exactly.
can't recreate this stuff. This is
Exactly.
great radio here.
Yeah, it is.
But something I really, really wanted to talk about today to kick the whole show off is I got to talk about that stew I made yesterday, huh? Now, come on now. That was good stew.
It was.
You were weirded out because the base was V8.
Yeah. It was a good stew. I'm just so used to my stews having a beef gravy type of thing. And the gravy that you made was V8. And I don't know, it weirded me out.
I wasn't weirded out at all. I was actually pleasantly surprised about it. It reminded me of a time when my dad had made a pot roast, and he you know, I think you got him onto the you know, we used the crock pot bags.
Yeah.
He used crock pot bags. He used oven bags. So he
Right.
had the beef and the vegetables, and he put V8 in the bag.
Right.
And now he used potatoes. He didn't use carrots. He used the things that are like carrots.
Yeah.
What are they? Are they turnips?
Yeah,
Is a turnip like a carrot?
Turnip,
White,
well,
or, you know.
yeah.
So he used them. And I remember thinking, this au jus was so good. I was like, I would drink it like a cup of coffee.
Oh, no.
Like a lot of
come
times
on.
with your soups. When you make
No.
pasta fagioli, which is the greatest in the land,
Yes.
I am telling you,
This
folks,
I do
it is the
know.
greatest au jus in the land. The greatest, I said au jus, I'm thinking, the greatest,
pasta
fagioli
fagioli.
in the land. And when you make vegetable soup, same thing. It's the greatest in the land.
I
would
do
drink the
have
broth
to-
like coffee.
I do have to boast that I am a really good cook.
You're an excellent cook.
Well, the reason I am a good cook is because I like to experiment. You know, it's easy to follow a recipe, but it's also pretty cool to like tweak a couple things on the recipe. You know, hey, this sounds good. Let's try this.
Well, you can do that
And
when
it-
you cook, but not bake, right? Cooking
No.
is an art, baking is a science.
Baking is a science, right? Yeah, no, not with
Which
baking.
is why, when I was a wee lad, you don't when you're making sugar cookies, you do not reverse the sugar and salt measurements.
Right, absolutely. You know, believe it or not, that is the most common mistake.
Oh, and it's a big
In-
one on
in
sugar cookies because
cooking.
it's no longer a sugar cookie.
Right, whether when you're baking or cooking even, mixing the ratios for the salt and the sugar, mixing them up is actually very common.
Really?
Very common, yeah.
Very
Yeah.
crazy, too.
Well, you did it.
So you are an excellent cook. Here's what I will say about the stew yesterday. I would say, first of all, it called for a quarter teaspoon of black pepper, and I dusted, you know what I mean? I didn't actually measure, which I should have, because I do feel like the pepper wasn't there. Like when you make stew, or when I made that other recipe of stew I made that
Right.
we liked, I just can't find that recipe.
Right.
I like the pepper was right there. There's stew is supposed to give you that what the pepper. So I mean, you really do have to. When they say put a quarter teaspoon in, you have to, and I don't think I did.
Right.
I would say that there could have been maybe some more spice. It didn't call for anything except that pepper, and maybe
And
there
you
could have
know-
been something.
When you do the freshly ground pepper, as opposed to just getting the can of pepper and, you know, shaking some of that in,
Right.
it does change. The pepper flavoring is more intense.
Yeah. I should have done that
Yeah.
too. You know, like ground up a quarter teaspoon. But either way, I should have measured either way. I think it might have made a bit of a difference.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I have this
and maybe
sneaky
a smidge
feeling.
of Italian seasoning, possibly.
I have this sneaky feeling that we're starting to bore our listeners.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Okay.
Really, I don't. But anyway, so
Right.
there it
Maybe
is.
I just feel weird
I
because
took a
we're
picture
not
of
in
the stew.
studio.
Well, I don't feel weird at all. See, I can stand up and it doesn't affect it. That's the other thing. Like I can move the phone around if I want, because we're recording on a phone and the microphone. Like
Yeah.
when you're sitting at the desk in there, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You make one false move and the microphones pick up everything that happens when you touch the desk.
That's true.
We're in an interesting position here now. I can stand up, I can sit down, I can lay
Right.
down,
Yeah.
I can stand on my head.
I'd pay $10 to see that one time.
So, okay, all right, we'll move on from food then. And for those who are going to get upset about that, I'm sorry, it's her fault. Now,
Okay.
so, since the last show, or maybe it was before last show a little bit, the black hole story,
Okay.
right? The black
Yeah.
hole story. This is an amazing story, and I know I'm kind of geeky about this, but this is really interesting because it's a groundbreaking discovery. It's the first time I think they said that, and I'm pulling it up right now. For the first time, an image of a black hole has been captured.
Yes.
That's what it is.
I saw that.
And when they studied the picture, they believe that some elements of the picture show. There's our security. There's our security, Molly. It's okay.
Molly. No.
Molly, the internet's most famous schnauzer, is trying to secure the premise, and we have to try to quiet her down.
It's okay. Nope. Nope.
So, Mom's going to try to keep her quiet. So, and they think that after studying the picture, some elements of the picture shows matter being sucked into this black hole.
Right.
This is a really interesting picture. And if you haven't been living under a rock, then you've probably seen it.
Right.
But the image was captured by a global team of more than 200 scientists using 8 telescopes, and is the first visual proof of Einstein's theory of general relativity, which predicts that when enough mass collapses together, it deforms space-time, creating a gravity field that pulls even light inside of it. So they linked up somehow. This is where the science part of it gets really interesting to me, because I'm a geek. They linked up 8 telescopes around the world into one massive project telescope to be able to capture this picture, because
Wow.
this thing is okay. So how did my story change? Why am I looking at country singers now? It's they put it all together, and this thing is how far away is it? A lot. It's like it's in M87. I do recall that, and I'm trying to scan through the story. It's in M87, which is I think the next galaxy over, but the distance is 55 million light years away.
Wow.
Now, I never, as geeky as I am, I never really understood light years being a method of speed. So I don't know how you would if you
method of distance.
Yeah, like I want to know, hey, how many nautical miles is this? But the thing is, when you get into space for some reason, all of a sudden it's light years.
Right.
What is a light year compared to a statute mile or a nautical mile? I mean, give me some comparison. I'm not going to look it up right now, but that's how far away this thing is.
Well, thankfully it's that far away.
Yeah, because it's sucking things in.
Right. And
I mean, and according to this, I mean, it's so strong. I mean, it's like a $2 whore.
what? I cannot believe you just said that.
I did.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, I just love when I just love when they show pictures of space, and then it makes me wonder that what it makes me wonder is what else out there can these 8 telescopes combine to take pictures of?
Oh my gosh, yeah, they've taken pictures of amazing.
But they're
pictures.
talking about they without this telescope, they're starting to see proof of possibly planets like ours in galaxies close to us. So it's like, okay, could we band these telescopes together? Could we take a picture? Will we see somebody on that planet waving?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm just speculating. It's possible. It's possible, but this is cool stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is. You and I both have really been into, space and stars and, space travel.
Right.
And
Sharon, by the way, folks,
I do.
has a star named after her.
Yes, I do.
I don't care if it's a scam or not. I fell for it. I did it, and Sharon has a star named after her.
This was, God.
This is
How
20
many
years, maybe 20 years ago, yeah.
At least 20 years ago, Joel gave me a star.
Yeah.
He bought it for me and gave it to me.
And we always thought, wouldn't it be crazy if the star that we bought turns out to be some planet like ours?
Right?
And then when we discover it and everything, I've had to be like, move over, folks. Sharon is the queen of that planet.
Yes, I am.
I don't care if they have a president, a democratic society, or if they're a bunch of ants. Sharon's in charge. Seriously, though.
So listen to me. That's cool.
Just the facts. So yeah, we have been, and then of course, and then we have a common love too for sci-fi, movies and shows, and
Yeah.
And I always tell people, I say, Interstellar. I tell them it's like 3 hours and change, and you went to bed like we were watching it. You went to bed like 30 minutes from the end. You were like, okay, I can't stay awake any longer. And everything about that movie culminated in that 30 minutes.
I know, right?
And I was like, mind blown. And she went to bed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was thinking about watching that again this weekend because it's a really good flick.
Yeah.
But
It is a really good flick.
but I don't think that's going to happen because it is a long flick.
Yeah.
And there's other things to do.
And it's already,
It's whatever time it is. Our audience doesn't know what time it is. They don't know what day it is.
I know. I know.
You don't want to give away secrets of the trade.
I wasn't going to.
Okay.
At all. So anyway, we are very much into, space travel, whether it be in a movie or in real life,
Right.
Where we're located. I think we told people we live in Delaware.
Actually, I thought I said Russia, but that's okay.
Oh, damn. Sorry.
No,
we live in Russia. No, we do not live in Russia. And we have not too far from us Dover Air Force Base.
Yeah.
So
Also, not really too far from us is the Wallops Island NASA Center,
yeah,
the flight facility,
yeah,
where they launch a lot of rockets to the ISS.
right.
So, not that gets us a bag of chips and a soda, but
hey,
but we have actually, we're in a position because of our proximity to Wallops Island. We're in a position here where I think once or twice we actually were able to see the rocket trails.
yeah,
Depending on weather conditions, they put out alerts, and you can from our deck out front, you can actually see, the rocket trail.
yeah,
Depending on what direction it's going, what the weather conditions are. I mean, and that's pretty far away.
yeah.
Consider. I mean, it's 2 hours, by car to get there, maybe 2 and change.
So I wonder if we can live on Mars.
Not yet.
Why?
Because they got to
can in
finish
the
doing
movies.
things. Yeah, well,
That always blew my mind. If there's certain things that they've come up with to be able to do in the movies, why couldn't they use that technology to do it in real life?
Maybe they're working on it. I don't know. But
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
There's a lot of different technologies that you see in movies,
right?
That you wish.
And every time they do it, someone has to be saved.
Right?
Anyway, so judging from the time on the clock on the iPhone, we have to. I mean, where'd this time go?
I know.
But anyway, so we're going to take a quick break and come back and test the equipment more, talk some more. We got some more stuff to talk about. Plus, later on the program, we have a very interesting heroes. As I said, we're going to start targeting hometown heroes as well. And tonight is our very first. Plus a new Wombat of the Week, all coming up on the Joel Michalec Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
So I use my computer every day. I'm not even sure how I get along without it. But I wasn't prepared for a virus. A Trojan, they called it. One night I'm cruising along, and the next night I can't do anything. I was afraid it was going to cost me a fortune. Boy, was I surprised. They had me back up and running the same day I called them. I really like PC Tech Rescue, and you know what? My wallet likes them too.
Are you troubled by computer problems? PC Tech Rescue should be your very next call. Whether the problem is viruses, hardware, software, or any other issue, they can diagnose your problem and have you back up and running fast. With more than 25 years of industry experience, you can be sure you are getting dependable and affordable service. Call today, 484-429-6061, or email us at pctechrescue@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the program. It's the Joel Michalec Show. And, you weren't even ready. You got to...
No, I sure wasn't.
Well, here's something else new, folks. You're going to hear the lapel going on. Anyway.
It's on. Yay.
The Joel Michalec Show. I'm Joel. This is Sharon.
I'm Sharon.
And jmtalk.net is...
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yes, say
the
it.
lovely Sharon.
Thank you. The website's jmtalk.net. That's where you can go to subscribe to the podcast, read the blog, check out the news, and listen to the 24/7 stream. Also find us at Facebook at JM Talk and Twitter at JM Talk Radio. Now, if you were following us on Twitter, nothing changed for you. The handle just affects new people looking for us. So
people that are already following us will still be following us.
Yes.
With
Which
the
is
new
creepy.
name.
Speaking of creepy and following and things, one of the things that I want to talk about, because we mentioned this before, we talked a little bit about this in a different way, but a news story came out this week about Amazon having thousands of workers worldwide that actually listen to the recordings that come from your Alexa devices.
Yes.
So we had surmised before, and I'm going to stand up because I can, and I need to stretch. We had surmised before on the show that she's listening to more than...
Yeah, just because of the way she acts.
Right.
We could be talking, you and I, about, I don't know, whatever, and she'll pop up saying, oh, yeah, this is what I found out about, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So now the news is broken that thousands of people are employed around the world for Amazon to go through all the recordings. They say to study it, to make it make the device better, and this and that. But they said there's intimate stuff. I mean, listen, nobody is announcing her name and then talking dirty. I mean, maybe you are, and but and
I have been. Look, I found this story last week, and I sent it to you.
Right.
And which is, what piqued our interest about using it on our show. But I have been saying all along that somebody is listening to Amazon, through the Alexa.
Right. And it only makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
if it's listening for the keyword, then it's listening. But now now there's a story out that says that it's all being recorded and deciphered. And they said that they've found evidence of like 2 or 3 crimes. There's a lot of personal, intimate details they're listening to. That's creepy.
It is. It is. Speaking of crimes, and I don't want to veer off this subject, but technology today has made it so much easier to find people who have committed crimes.
Right, in the past.
Yeah.
Well, with the ALEXA app, maybe current.
Right. Well, no, I mean, I was reading a story that said that somebody, like, those DNA places,
Yes.
there's 2 where it's 23andMe and the Ancestry.com.
Right.
Where you can take a bit of your DNA, send it to them, and they'll tell you, how much of what nationality you are.
Right.
Well, they're also using this DNA as a tracker to see if you or anyone in your family has committed a crime.
So much for privacy.
Right. And they have solved at least 2 unsolved murders from 1974, 75.
Incredible.
I know. And it wasn't the person that committed the crime, but their family that, one of the family members submitted a DNA to Ancestry.
And of course, we are talking about this knowing that we still have ours active.
Right. Yeah, we're getting back to the Alexa. I don't mind saying it because, if
She's not getting smarter.
yeah, if she pops up, then...
And plus, she only listens for her name half the time. If I give her a command, you got to repeat it. I mean, it's like a child.
I know, right? That's true, though, but sometimes you don't say it loud enough, or if she doesn't respond to you and I'm sitting closer to her,
Right.
then I'll just repeat what you said.
So what you're saying is you're closer to her.
I am.
Wow.
I am.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Closer to Molly, closer to...
So it makes me wonder, if you use this Amazon product, does it make you more, does it make you less at ease about using it? I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure how we feel. I guess, it's like anything else where you go, where people say, well, then you shouldn't use that anymore because. If
Right.
you've got nothing to hide, what does it matter? Like,
Exactly.
Sure, it's pretty concerning that, you
can use, it's a principle stance.
It is,
that,
yes.
That they're listening in and it's an invasion of your privacy. Yes, it is. It really is. But does it bother me enough to disable it?
Currently, no.
No,
I don't
it
think
doesn't.
so. It's like anything else. It's like when people I know get really crazy about, like gun rights. Or they want to close down buying guns at a gun store. They're infringing on my rights. Do you buy your guns at a gun show in a firehouse? No. Then what's it matter to you?
Right.
What does it matter? You buy your
Exactly.
guns legally. So it's the same thing. We're not discussing crimes. We're not plotting to take out, world governments.
Right.
Whatever.
We have
Listening.
nothing to hide.
Right.
We really don't, We're just 2 normal Joe Schmoes and...
Boring ass people.
Right? Right? We go to work, we come home, we eat, watch TV, go to bed, get up, go to work, come home.
But it's just
it's
it just seems like things are getting. There seems to be more serious issues going on each time you hear about something. And I'm going to put all these things in a basket. Facebook with their security. There was another breach found again. Like they cannot.
Wow.
Did it stop people from using Facebook? No, I don't think the count of the amount of people using Facebook went down any. Google, they found out that the Google Nest thermostats.
Yeah.
We forgot to tell people that we put a microphone inside the Nest. Sorry about that. Are people not buying Nest thermostats anymore? No.
Exactly.
So I'm putting all these things in the same basket. The fact of the matter is, society, and I say this all the time, we allow technology to go too far too fast. That's my opinion. Other people in my field, as I found out in recent weeks, don't necessarily feel that way. But
that's their opinion.
That's their opinion.
Your opinion.
Right.
That you're allowed to have.
But when you think about all the things that the new technology with DNA, the learning this news about these thousands of employees around the globe listening to everything that they're listening to the podcast. I mean, someone somewhere is going to listen to an hour's worth of a podcast.
Exactly.
And Google with the microphones in the Nest and cars, autonomous cars, that drives me crazy.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't even dream or think that an autonomous car.
But you don't have to dream because they're doing it already.
I know. I'm saying, I wouldn't think it'd be okay. It's already committed a murder, homicide, vehicular homicide. But
I tried making the argument against it, and it doesn't go well when I try to discuss it. So I just don't think that we are ready for autonomous cars. I think already
when you can make cars fly, then it's time for autonomous cars.
See, I don't even know if I want that.
Yeah.
I tried making the argument that autonomous cars makes people lazy. We're already making people lazy. Look at all the accidents from cell phones and stuff.
Oh my God!
Bear with me now. And so I was making the argument that we're continuing to make people lazy, And I was told by a peer of mine, from my Spiceworks group, that autonomous cars will solve that problem by doing the work for them. And I tried to rebut that with the Air France disaster in 2009, Rio de Janeiro to Paris, that went down in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And I tried to make that argument because ultimately what happened was the pilots had all these alarms to deal with, and they were all taught that the plane drives by computer. If this alarm comes up, you press this button. This.
Right.
They panicked during that. Nobody knew how to drive the plane. They grabbed the stick and thought they could, and they stalled the plane out.
Right.
They didn't know how to drive it. So when an autonomous car takes a shit, what happens when the person in that, I'm sorry, I wasn't trained how to drive a car. I was trained to sit in here and let the car do what it's going to do.
Exactly.
My head's exploding over it. as you can far see, we've gone crazy now with this technology discussion. Welcome to Tech Talk Live.
Right? No, I agree with you 100%. And that doesn't happen very often. But in this instance, I do. I agree with you 100%.
100? So this is what I said. I said, okay, well, look at it this way. In 2005, 2006, I was driving a 1998 truck. I said, now it's 2019, I'm driving a 2003 truck. So by the time there's autonomous cars in 2035 or whatever, I'll be driving a 2015. So I'm okay with it. I'm not rushing into this.
Doesn't mean you're literally going to be driving it.
Exactly. Man, we're off the chart here.
Wow.
Okay. Well, no, look at you. You're nice and clean. And I'm like, dun, da, da.
Well, you have a booming voice.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you have a booming voice.
That's right.
You scared the kids when they were little. Whenever you would yell.
I get that from my father. He had a booming voice.
Yes, he did.
So anyway, so that's all right. So that's about technology. I don't know. Does it worry you that they're listening to whatever? I mean, God, please. I mean, don't have sex in front of your Amazon device, I guess.
Well, unless you're
Now,
into having people watch you.
Well, they're listening, but you bring up a really good point that I was getting ready to just turn the corner a little bit before we left this roadway. If you have ALEXA TV, are they watching as well as listening? Like, are they watching that stuff?
Right.
Because don't tell me it only does the transpire when you say, I don't know.
Wow.
It's a little crazy.
I don't think in the almost 25 years that we've been together
What are you going to say?
that
now?
I've seen you like that, like ready to pull your hair out about technology.
It's funny because I'm a technology manager.
I know.
But I stand on my opinion very firmly. We are going too far, too fast. We don't need all this technology.
People who know me know that if a piece of technology has come out on Monday,
she needs it
I
Sunday.
need it the Saturday before.
Right. I said Sunday, but yeah, Saturday. That's good too.
I am a technology junkie,
Yep.
But I'm not rushing out to get an autonomous car. I got to tell you that much.
I mean, we still don't even have a hybrid car. Like, I would like to have a hybrid to save on costs.
Right.
But we don't even have a hybrid car.
No.
So anyway. Wow, I took up a lot of time with that. But, I mean, I just think it's important.
Yeah.
It's worthy of a thought. And you can share your thought. Oh, by the way, 484-429-6061. You can text the show. Now, obviously, we won't get... I can't say we won't get the text while we're sitting here, because we might. Next week, we might be sitting here, and a text comes in because somebody's listening to last week's tonight.
Right.
But you can... But sometimes... It's easier sometimes for people, instead of sending an email... Maybe they find texting easier. Maybe they're text junkies. And they have a thought. They'll listen to the podcast, whip out your phone, 484-429-6061. Text us the thought.
There you go.
Just want to put that out. I keep forgetting to mention that. I just updated the Spreaker page with that because I didn't even know that you can put in an option to text the show
Oh, really?
on our Spreaker page. Spreaker is who hosts our RSS feed that goes out to the world.
Right.
So that's on there. That's updated. So I did 2 things this week for the show.
Wow.
All right, I straightened out the front page of the website. I did 3 things for the show this week. But
the longer we talk, we'll find out how much more.
What I
you
specifically
really did.
said to you, though, was
right.
that I have not been able to do any marketing for the show. We don't have marketing. We don't have PR people. It's us. And I haven't had a chance to do any marketing in the last couple of weeks for the show, which is sad.
Wow. Yeah.
I wish we could get
disappointing me.
I'm disappointed myself. So I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah. I don't know. What's the time on that? Look at wow.
Yeah.
And we went over in the first segment, I think, a couple minutes. We can actually we can make
2
up
minutes.
for it here. Did we go over 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, what I'll do is I'll close out this segment and we'll get ready because you're going to be here for the next segment. No, where are you running to?
Yeah,
the couch is right here.
I'm right here.
So
there you go.
We're going to take our last break and then come back with the home stretch Wombat of the Week, which is a doozy.
Really,
it's a doozy, and our very first hometown heroes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
This is New York's Super Oldie Station, 920 WON, The Apple, Brooklyn, New York.
So I use my computer every day. I'm not even sure how I get along without it. But I wasn't prepared for a virus. A Trojan, they called it. One night I'm cruising along, and the next night I can't do anything. I was afraid it was going to cost me a fortune. Boy, was I surprised. They had me back up and running the same day I called them. I really like PC Tech Rescue, and you know what? My wallet likes them too.
Are you troubled by computer problems? PC Tech Rescue should be your very next call. Whether the problem is viruses, hardware, software, or any other issue, they can diagnose your problem and have you back up and running fast. With more than 25 years of industry experience, you can be sure you are getting dependable and affordable service. Call today, 484-429-6061, or email us at pctechrescue@gmail.com.
Welcome back, folks, to the Joel Michalec Show. I'm Joel, and guess who's here for the third segment?
I'm here.
Sharon is joining us for the home stretch of this episode. I'm very glad about that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the website, jmtalk.net. You can subscribe to the show there. Listen to the new 24/7 stream. Listen to the Joel Michalec Show 24/7. Yeah, we're both looking at the screen. A sci-fi poster just came up for Will Smith's new show or film. Wow, I have to look into that. Anyway, I'm sorry. You can subscribe to the show. Check us out there. Also at Facebook, JM Talk, and Twitter. Follow us at Twitter. Send us a tweet, whatever you want to do, at JM Talk Radio. So there are the various ways to get a hold of us. Plus, you can email us at joelmichalecradio@gmail.com and send a text to us, 484-429-6061. So that takes care of the business of getting out of that. And you're much more comfortable because you're working all your devices over there.
I know,
And,
I am.
you
I
know.
really am.
Wow. So anyway, you know what I did forget, though?
What?
Which is in the studio, is just the sheet that I read off on how they can get involved in the Wombat of the Week
Do you want me to go get it for you?
No. I would say that if you want to get involved in the Wombat of the Week segment, which is what we're about to do, all you need to do is email us a story of stupid people doing stupid things. Because that's what the Wombat of the Week is. You can send it to joelmichalecradio@gmail.com or wombat@joelmichalec.com. Or you can also just send it to us in a message on Twitter or Facebook using the appropriate tags that I gave out a few minutes ago. So
Right.
that's how you can participate and send us the Wombat of the Week. So I know you need to start writing me notes. I didn't see that.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
So on to the Wombat of the Week, which is a story about chaos at Walmart. Chaos descended on a Wisconsin Walmart store this past Wednesday night after a karate-performing mother, her naked son, and their belligerent dog shoplifted and ran amok in the store.
What?
And there's a picture of the mother and the son.
Oh, my goodness.
The Eau Claire Police Department posted on their social media that the officers responded to a call that a woman, Lisa Smith, age 46, and her dog, Bo, shoplifted items from the store. The woman's son, 26-year-old Benny Van, was causing chaos in the store as well. Police learned that Smith came into the shop with Bo unleashed, with the dog immediately running off towards customers while the woman was pulling apart displays in the store and placing them in her cart. After being told to leave the store, the woman began showing off her karate moves in the parking lot to fend off police officers. The dog tried to flee the crime scene, albeit unsuccessfully, with a box of Jiffy cornbread muffin mix in his mouth. After a brief fight with the officers, Smith was arrested, and as a last-ditch attempt, she tried to kick a window out of a police car. Her raucous son, meanwhile, was getting fully naked and began exposing himself to other customers at the store. He then tried to cover himself with new clothes from the store without intending to pay for them.
Oh, my goodness.
After officers confronted Van, he threatened to run over them with his scooter, prompting the police to use physical force to stop the scooter and arrest the man. The mother was charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and misdemeanor bail jumping. The son is facing charges of lewd and lascivious. Wow, what is that word? Lascivious behavior, disorderly conduct, and retail theft. The only person getting off scot-free was Bo the dog.
Wow.
Bo was caught by officers in the store and brought to the Humane Association. The dog was not charged. We issued him a warning on the theft, according to a police statement.
Oh, my goodness.
That is some
real?
straight up craziness.
Wow.
At the Walmart. I mean, you know, there's always that saying that, like, there's a website out there called People of Walmart.
Yeah.
And it's a place where you can take pictures of let's just say wombats at Walmart and post them. People dressed funny, people whatever. And then what happens is, you can be famous if you're one of these people at Walmart. You can become famous by being on this website. And then, of course, there's other websites that just talk about people's experiences in Walmart. They're always crazy experiences. This one here really takes the cake, though. And this happened, where did I say this happened? What state? This happened in, oh, come on, I just had it. Oh, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, is that considered the upper Midwest? No, is that the upper Midwest?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where
is.
Green Bay Packers are, cheeseheads?
Yep.
Wow, well, these are definitely a couple of cheeseheads. I wish we were on, like, live video right now. There's the picture. I have to make sure I post this story on the Facebook page because, now, this is really interesting. These two are something else. I will post a picture of these sometime after the show drops on Sunday. Wow, they're the mugshots. That's really great stuff there. So these two, and we will not add the dog to the Wombat of the Week. It'll just be these two that are the Wombats of the Week. Again, Lisa Smith and Benny Van. Wow. You get the honors this week on the show.
I don't know if that's a good honor to have.
But albeit, it is an honor.
It is an honor nonetheless.
It is an honor. So one quick thing that I wanted to mention before moving on to our Honor Thy Heroes segment is, Sharon did have to leave. She had to go take care of a minor crisis. So I may have mentioned this before. I'm not sure because sometimes I listen to the 24/7 stream of the Joel Michalec show, so I like listening to the old stuff. And so I'm thinking in my head, did I mention this recently or did I hear it on one of the past shows? But anyway, you know, summer's coming. It's around the corner. We talked a little bit tonight about we're testing equipment because we'll be doing a lot of our podcast recording on the road and not in the studio. And it just reminds me that distracted driving is still an issue, and I really want everybody to be safe and drive carefully and get to where they have to get to alive. I have no other way of putting it. We want you to arrive alive to your destinations, and it's bad enough that during the entire course of the year, if people prove time and time again, over and over and over again, that they don't know how to drive. They get behind the wheel and somehow they turn into a jackass. And it only gets worse. It is exponentially worse in the summertime when you start with the vacation travel and whatnot. And we want you to not be distracted, okay? There's things you can do. First thing I want you to do is make sure everybody in your vehicle is seatbelted in. That's the first tip I want to give you. Everyone in seatbelts, please. Okay? That's one. Number two, don't text and drive. If you have to talk while you're driving, please have a Bluetooth. If somebody's texting you and it cannot wait, have someone else in the car, if applicable, do the responding for you. I'm a technology manager, so yes, I do sometimes when we're traveling, I do get texts from work or calls from work. I have Bluetooth, or Sharon handles the texting for me if I'm driving. That's not always the case, but if that is the case, then I handle the texting. She handles the texting for me while I drive. And so please, don't drive distracted and arrive alive. Think about your family. Think about the people around you. and be safe when driving. So that's that. Our other segment that we do each and every week is called Honor Thy Heroes. And I wanted to start including, it started out as our way of honoring first responders, law enforcement, medical first responders, EMTs, firefighters, dispatchers, all these people doing amazing things. And you know the fact of the matter is, there are people every day in every aspect of life doing great things. And so I wanted to expand it to them, and I sort of did. Last week, we sort of did that. We kind of had a cooperation between a truck driver and law enforcement to save a teenager. And so that sort of was like, that was a nice bridge, right? That was a really nice bridge, because this week is our first unrelated first responders, hometown heroes. And I'm really excited about it. So let's get right into this. 5 teenage boys being praised for stopping their car to help a fallen senior citizen and get his wounds cleaned up. Okay, so we're talking about these 5 teenage boys that are being praised as hometown heroes after they came to the rescue of an old man. This happened last month. The young men from Caldwell, Idaho, had been in a car on their way to play some basketball when they saw an elderly man fall to the ground. Isaac Hernandez, who had been behind the wheel at the time, says that when he saw the man hit the sidewalk, he immediately pumped the brakes so he and his friends could go and check on the senior citizen. Upon helping him back to his feet and asking if he was okay, the teens insisted on helping him back to his house. After they successfully escorted him inside, the young men cleaned up his wounds with some paper towels and some rubbing alcohol. Though the teens did not know this at the time, their good deed had been captured by camera by Erica Tovar. She had also been driving past the elderly man when she saw him fall in the rearview mirror. She had turned her car around to check on him. However, she saw the boys were already rushing to his side, so she snapped some photos of the exchange and posted them on Facebook, praising them for their kindness. The 5 young men say that they were simply just trying to do the right thing. Hernandez said, quote, "We didn't do it for the attention. We just did it out of the kindness of our hearts. I think it makes us feel good because we're out there helping other people, and we don't expect anything in return." However, the boys say that they now have developed a firm friendship with the senior citizen that they helped, Jose Garcia. In the weeks following their first encounter, the boys have been paying regular visits to the senior at his apartment, and they plan on visiting much, much more in the future. This story, this qualifies at just at what I was talking about. Hometown heroes, regular everyday people, teenagers. You know, listen, there's a lot to be said about teenagers. How many times do we question teenagers? Were they brought up correctly? Who's raising them? They act like wild animals. They don't do anything. They're lazy. They're rude. We say all these things about teenagers. I'm guilty as much as the next person. I am. It's funny. Molly's looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm holding this podcast. Mom has left, and she's my audience. She's my captive audience today. Thank you for watching. She really thinks I'm nuts. But we say this stuff about teenagers. We say this. My microphone. What am I doing here? Oh, people, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. We say this stuff about teenagers all the time. We're all guilty of it. And how about this for our first everyday heroes? 5 teenage boys on their way to play basketball see an old man fall down and stop to help him. This is not how you think that story would have turned out. But it did. And not only did they help him, but they forged a friendship with him. Now they go and they visit him on a regular basis. You can't get any more hometown heroish than that, can you, Molly? That's a great story. And because of that, these boys are honored on the Joel Michalec Show, Honor Thy Heroes segment for this program. And I thank them for their service to their community. Now, you can get involved in this. You can get involved in this because you can send me stories. You can send me stories of everyday people doing amazing things for people. Or doing amazing things for the community. It can be a police officer. It can be, Joe Smith down the street. It doesn't matter. We want to honor them. We want to bring this good news to light. In a world full of bad news, I want to shed some good news. That's what we want to do here on the program. So you can send those stories to me at joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. I will be more than happy to have them. So that is our Honor Thy Heroes segment. And the home stretch kind of feels a little light in time, but that's okay. That's the nice thing about podcasting. We're not necessarily bound to a time frame. I could go over, I could go under. I like to keep it at a certain point though, because we have some great stations that air it, and here's a great time. I need to talk about something, Molly. So I want to remind everybody that this program airs on great stations. Okay, on Sunday night it airs on 920 WON The Apple in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, on Wednesday nights it airs on our producer station, Mr. Tony Richards, on the wonderful Reality One Radio, playing everything from the 70s and 80s and more. And he talks about his wonderful no repeat work day. I keep telling him he has a no repeat work week with the library. It's a great station. We air there Wednesday nights. And on Friday nights, back in New York in the Catskills on Star FM Radio. So Sunday nights, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 920 WON. Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Reality One Radio in Baltimore, Maryland. And on Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, on Star FM Radio. The links are all in the show notes for the podcast. So that way you can go and listen. And while you're at it, listen at the other offerings that these stations have. They're wonderful stations. If you have a radio station, online or brick and mortar, and you want the show, all you got to do is send me an email. Send me an email. Boom, we'll work it out. So anyway, that really wraps up the podcast. I got nothing else, folks. I got nothing else. I hope you enjoyed it. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. Don't forget jmtalk.net. That's the easiest route to the website, and you can subscribe from there. In the meantime, please love one another. Stop hating each other, okay? Because that's what we want to do. And we'll catch you next week on the Joel Michalec Show. Goodbye, everybody.